My mother used to say, birds of a feather flock together. If you run around with losers, you will end up a loser. It's necessary that you get the losers out of your life if you want to live your dream.
Yes, we chatting from behind the wall with the innocent man, a.k.a. R. Murphy Jr., and we got Lilo, the creator. How you doing, Lilo? Talk to me.
I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Have you been watching our lovely news in America today?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Other than the Diddy scandal, which we want to, of course, touch topic on, we also want to touch base on a young brother out of Philadelphia that go by the name of LGP, Quanny, and he was murdered over Mother's Day. Sad to say R.I.P. to the young talented brother. And then we also want to touch base on another up-and-coming artist out of Philadelphia, OT7, Quanny. So let's talk about Diddy. What have been going on with the Diddy trial? What's your opinions on the Diddy trial?
My personal opinion is that the defense and the prosecutors, they both have really good cases, but I feel like this trial has been strung out over the course from last year to this year. It's just like, we need the hard evidence, push that forward. All personal opinions can be held to the end. Let's get the evidence, so either get him arrested, set him free, but let's just find something.
So it's either get him convicted or let him go?
Yes.
So you feel that there's a lot of personal opinions being weighed in this case?
Yes.
So what is he actually charged with?
He has been charged with the racketeering.
Yeah, those are the lovely sounds of being in a correctional institution, but go ahead.
Yes. He has been charged with racketeering. Conspiracy.
Okay.
It does. Long list.
Sex trafficking, abuse. But the way it's looking so far is just looking like the defense is presenting a domestic violence case. It doesn't look like they're really presenting much of a racketeering case or much of a sex trafficking case, anything like that, right? So far, I mean, I guess it's a longer list of individuals that's supposed to come forward and, testify to certain things. I know they wanted to get Cassie out of the way because, the sister was, 9 months pregnant, ready to burst. So they had to get her in and out. And I guess she may or may not have been the prosecution's main witness. So you know how that go. But I personally feel, right, there's multiple sides to the story. It's the old cliche. It's her side of the story. It's his side of the story. Then it's the truth. Who's telling the truth? Is somebody telling some part of the truth in their portion of the story, or is somebody just completely flat out fabricating? What he doesn't have going for him is the benefit of the doubt, which is everybody should have. You prove that you innocent until proven guilty in the justice of the law all around the world, but mainly here in America, where they pride themselves in being the land of the home of the free and the proud and the brave and so on and so forth, right? Due process. So, with that being said, I don't know whether it was a strategical play on behalf of the prosecution, but the defense is definitely making it known that they feel it was, but making that tape known. That tape of him beating that sister like that, right, for whatever the reason may be, at the end of the day, no one wants to see a woman, a man, a child, anyone being beaten that way. But now that they have that tape to go off of, it doesn't look good, right, in the court of public opinion. But he's not being tried in the court of public opinion. But he is being tried in the court of public opinion, but he's not. So it's like a conundrum. You feel what I'm saying? This is where all of the personal feelings is coming in there in regards to the case. And they're not really presenting and putting forth actual racketeering or prostitution case, or it's a lot of personal things being put forth. But I'm waiting on the edge of my seat to see what take place. But I have sisters, I have a daughter, I had a mother, I got aunts, female cousins. I wouldn't like to see that be done to them, right? So a lot of people bleeding emotionally. How do you feel as a woman seeing something like that being done to a woman?
As a woman, I feel like, well, one, no person should go through that, no matter what. Man, woman, child, elder, even animals shouldn't have to go through that. But as a woman, it puts you in a perspective of, wow, this is how much the world has changed over a long period of time. Because a few years ago, if a man was caught hitting another woman, hitting a woman, the whole world would be after him.
Yeah.
From
Do you feel the whole world is after him?
I feel like it's half and half. Half are like, well, when that video, let me say this. When that video came out, a lot of people looked at him differently. But before that video was published, it was split half and half. Well, did he really do it? Well, no, I feel like he did it, so it was split.
So then once the video came out, it kind of allowed people to pick a side. Before the video, it was just her word against his. It was just conjecture, right? It was just whispers in the air. But then the video came out, and it kind of confirmed a lot of people's feelings. Some already was voicing it for a long time. Wendy Williams did a great job of always voicing her opinion. She actually got chased out of radio in New York because of her being so vocal about him and people like him, right? And she was chased out of New York City and wasn't taken serious. And now look, so it's like the video don't help, right? And he's being tried in a court of public opinion. I'm gonna say that, but wrong is wrong, right is right, right? And if you are in a power position, because this is my stance and where I stand at, right? If you're in a power of position, right, and you have this young, vulnerable woman or boy or even a man, right, who's chasing this life, this fame, this status in which come with being successful and wealthy. If you're chasing that, you can be blinded by your goals and your push and your drive to be accepted, be amongst the elite, to be one of the elite, to be a trendsetter, right? And I feel that she was definitely addicted to the high life. And what I mean by that is everything that came along with celebrity status, right? She wanted to do music, and she had goals and aspirations to be more than likely a successful artist. Nobody has the dreams or goals to be a broke artist. She had goals and dreams to be a successful artist. That's what she pushed. That's what she wanted to do. I believe he took advantage of that. Like, if you want to be a part of my life, if you want to enjoy these perks and these pleasures and reach this status, this is what you have to sacrifice. And I don't think that that's right. I don't think that no man, no woman, or anybody or institution should ever hold a power of position or growth or the pursuit of happiness of life over anyone and then manipulate them into doing certain things that they normally wouldn't do, right? So it takes two to tango, 100%. Is she grown? Yes. But there's such thing called a Stockholm syndrome. And it's when the captor just works such a mind trick on the captee that they then believe that what's happening to them they deserved or they don't deserve more. And I'm speaking to young women out there, right? First and foremost, right? And want them to understand and know that you may have goals, you may have desires, you may have dreams, but you don't allow those goals, desires, and dreams to have you so pimped out mentally and morally that you find yourself in these kind of situations where you're being abused or you're being mistreated verbally or financially, and you just feel like if only I stick in it, I'm going to get what I want, and then, I could get out of it. Or that old saying, use what you got to get what you want. Often, that's not the way to go. Because look at the outcome. Look at your Harvey Weinsteins. Look at your Jeffrey Epsteins. Look at your R. Kellys. Now you have your Diddy, right? No, he hasn't been found guilty, but in a court of public opinion, he's looking really bad. He's looking really bad. What his personal sexual proclivities are, what his habits are in regards to substances and different things of that nature, that's his prerogative. What you do behind your closed door, respectfully and within consent as an adult, is your prerogative. But that video just don't look good. So I'm just going off that video, and just going off of that video, it just don't look good, man. Like, I wouldn't get behind a person and support somebody like that. If I was in that position and in them shoes, I would understand why people wouldn't get behind me and support me. You know what I'm saying? Redemption could take place. Look at me. I've been in prison for 21 years. You know what I'm saying? For some parts of a crime that I did and some parts of a crime that I didn't do, right? But I always look at it and say for the things that I got away with, I may be sitting down being penalized and punished for the things that I got away with, right? You know, you can't cry over spilled milk, but hopefully he'll be in a position to get the help that he needs. If it come down to it and he gets found guilty and become incarcerated, you got to take advantage of the programs and the opportunities that might be laid out before him. If he get out, he might need to go see somebody. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? But we're gonna watch the trial closely and just see how it play out. They got a whole long list of witnesses, mm-hmm. you know, to come forward and continue to tell their story. But the prosecution got to get their thing together. If they trying to push a racketeering, sex trafficking, prostitution ring type of a thing, they far from the Richter, so far from what I could see.
Mm-hmm. And you know, two things with the list of charges that they have, and during the trial they have that on Tubi. The defense actually brought up a really good point. They said for all the charges that they have, they're only using this one video to try to get him for it. And I can see why he would say that, because in the video it only shows domestic violence, abuse, that type of stuff. It doesn't show the freak off situation. All it shows is her leaving a hotel room, and him chasing behind her with the towel, and then he beats her.
Now, they may have videos that the public haven't been made privy to. You got to remember, they raided multiple locations where he lived, right, that he called his residence. Mm-hmm. So they may have video that the public have not been privy to. But you're right. You know, his defense said it, right? And it's his job to say it. That's what he get paid for. But, you know, even a blind man can see it, right? And just speaking from the criminal element or aspect of the side of the fence that I was on, my defense would be all you are showing is this video. And then in this video, I look back and in the court of public opinion, and what we're dealing with right now, that's how he's being judged. I'm a closely monitor it though. You know, I'm in prison myself. I'm watching the news. I'm watching as much of the trial as I possibly can. I'm gonna continue to watch it. But like I said, right is right, is wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? Women, maintain your virtue. Don't allow nobody to string you along and pimp you out and trick you out for some, you know, temporary pleasures and moments in life. Always maintain your morals and values and know your worth. That's what I would say.
And another thing, it was Harvey who said this on the news. He said, from the prosecutor's standpoint, do you guys feel like you keep showing this video before you actually make it to the big courtroom? Do you think that would deter the effect and emotion it might have, since it has been played so many times?
100%. It's a strategical play, and being on the defense side of things, that, you know, as a person who had to go through the judiciary system, I'm sitting in the judiciary system right now, right, and been tried and convicted. You know, that's a play, that's a ploy, that's what they do. You feel what I'm saying? That's what the defense do. So the prosecution do. So now the defense got to find some way to counteract it. But 100%, it was a strategic move. Let's vilify him in the public eye. Let's show this. Let's show one of his bad moments. I can't say let's show his worst moment, because he probably had worse moments than that. But that's definitely a strategic play on their behalf. 100%, I believe that. I believe that 100%. But we're gonna keep an eye on the trial. Mm-hmm. We're gonna continue to give, you know, our listeners, you know, our updates and our opinions. You know, they say opinions is like a-holes. Everybody got one, so we all got an opinion. So let's see how it all play out. Let's see how it go.
All right. Pause on that. Alrighty, so we will stay up to date with this Diddy trial. We definitely will keep you guys updated with the news and with our opinions.
That's right.
And our next segment will be about a sad, tragic incident that happened with a known Philly rapper, LGP Quanny, who was terribly killed over Mother's Day weekend. So we will get into that right now.
Some broke days, I can tell you all about it. Living good and having money, I ain't know too much about it. I was broker than a joke. Funny part, I wasn't smiling. I was wilding, trying to cop some fresh sneaks from Foot Locker. Man, them youngins in the project, they get violent when that weather.
Okay, so very sad tragedy. The kid sounds very talented. his music was along the lines more, I'm a Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls kind of guy, so it's hard for me to give a lot of the younger generation a shot, but I listen to some people. I listen to Lil Baby, and I listen to Kendrick Lamar and Wale, of course, Ross, Drake, those guys, right? And I'm a little biased when it comes to music, but right now we talking about a tragedy, right? A tragedy that took place with this young brother. Do you know any specifics of what took place? Because I only seen it on the news, and my information is limited, being as though I'm in prison. So, what is it that you heard, and what is it that you know about the incident?
Well, what I've seen through the news, different articles, is that it was an attempt of an armed robbery, and it was, and the worst part about it was they were trying to take his customized chain from him. It had his name on it.
And where did this take place at?
It happened in Juniata Park, and near the intersection of M Street and East Luzerne Street. And the worst part was it was exactly on Mother's Day.
Wow. And so what part of Philadelphia is that? Be considered as like North Philadelphia, I believe.
Yes.
Isn't that where he's from in Philadelphia? Like, is that like maybe his neighborhood or something? And if a guy is not safe in his neighborhood, see, this is the thing, and this is what I believe. First and foremost, what I want to say is drill music, nod to the brothers out Chicago who kind of like put it on the map, who kind of like made it a thing, and then it just Pop Smoke picked it up, R.I.P., and then so many other people grabbed onto it and started doing their thing. And I'm all for the brothers. I'm power to the people, right? I'm all for the brothers out there making their music, getting it out there, doing their thing, displaying their talent. Is better than standing on the street corner selling drugs. It's better than running around with a gun victimizing people and just continuing to perpetuate this crime cycle that's taking place in our communities. But where is the accountability and responsibility that one should have for themselves? When you walk out of your front door, don't you think that regardless of whatever rights you may feel that you have as a human being, as a free citizen in America or anywhere in the world, don't you think that one has the responsibility to be mindful of one's like social surroundings and the type of people that you're around? Just because you're a rapper, do you have to hang around those that are still a part of a street element? Do you have to be hanging out on some local drug corner with a multi-million dollar chain? Like, what is the fascination with a lot of these young brothers today where they make it, right? Which is something that a lot of the guys from my era, I'm from the Mitch Porter era, you feel what I'm saying? I'm from the Shower Posse era, and that's that 70s, 80s era, and everything that we did in the streets was to make something, get something, do something better for not only ourselves but our families. It wasn't, so much as like, I want to make money to look like I'm the man, to be still on some local corner, still selling drugs, and now I've made myself a target. Like, when did that whole thing become like a thing? And do you feel that drill music and the content and the style of music has anything to do with so much violence that's taking place, not only in every city, but just speaking about Philadelphia right now?
Honestly, yes, I do believe that, because a lot of these gang-affiliated groups will make music and direct it towards maybe another group in a different part of the city that they don't like. So when they hear that, they're like, okay, well, if y'all want to say this in a song, we're going to actually put your words to you. We're going to do it to you first before you can do it to us. And that's where...
So everybody's on their meet me outside kind of vibe.
Yes.
So my thing is like, the goal is to be successful, right? The goal isn't to be the toughest, strongest, well-known gangster killer. The goal is to be successful, and everyone defines their own, meaning of what success is, right? Success comes in many ways, shapes and forms and fashions, but you have a platform. I heard that the young brother was, trying to be positive and productive through his platform, and try and promote peace and try and promote productivity. But once it has reached a street level, right, how do you pull it back? How do you reel it in? How do you get the leash back on the lion once the lion has broken off his leash and gotten out of the zoo?
And that's the the sad part about nowadays? Once that lion has broke from the leash, there's no coming back from it. Once you get to that level of street violence and everything that's happening in the streets, it's hard to get back out. And a lot of rappers on interviews, they even say, some days I wish I never would have did this, or some days I wish I wouldn't have joined this. And I know one rapper specifically, he said, with this street stuff, there's only two ways out, either jail or death.
And who was that said that? Because that's an often saying that said it. It's sad. It's an often saying that said in every inner city that has to do with black and brown individuals from our communities is either prison, right, which is where I am and have been for the past 21 years, or death, which is something that we all day by day try and duck. Who said that? What artist said that?
That was FS the Bender.
Okay, another up-and-coming artist or well-established artist. And it's sad that those brothers have to guard themselves in that way. But what individuals need to do is, and my mother always told me, is you try to learn from the mistakes of others. You see what your peers are going through. King Von, you had the brother out Houston, Mo, you got it's just the names. I could continue to go on and on and on with all of these senseless deaths and murders. You feel what I'm saying? Or it's either brothers is getting themselves caught up in a position to where they haven't reached the level of fame, but then now they're incarcerated because like the old saying is, it's either prison or death, right? So it's like, do you want to end up like Dirt? He had the world in the palm of his hands. Now he's sitting at the mercy of prosecutors, right? When you tell yourself that you have no other option, and I'm from the hood, I'm from the street, I'm a man, I'm real, and if you think that all of those actions and decisions that's being taken in the streets is gonna prove some further manhood, you brothers are misunderstanding the whole concept of what it means to be a man. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Well, the bullet left the chamber. You killed one of mine. I got to kill one. But if we continue in that mindset, it's like you said, the lion is off the leash and out of the zoo. Who's going to capture it? Who's going to get it? It's sad that young man had to lose his life, but what people have to do is just try to take it as a life lesson. Was it a botched robbery? Was it some payback for something that may have happened at a different time before he was as well known as he is? Is it something that has to do with his affiliation with the individuals in which he would be with? I don't know, but I feel that, you young brothers, speaking as a man who's been in prison for 21 straight years, I've been in prison since the age of 24 years old. Don't follow our mistakes. Hov said it best. Hov did that, so you don't got to go through that. There's people that you can see in your family, in your community, and just in general in this industry who have made certain mistakes that a lot of young brothers out there that's in this rap game can learn from. Get your money, get your bag, what Nip said. Gentrify your own hood. Take that money and take that influence and do something with it. It's not cool. You should define cool, right? My guy Wallow 267 said it best. You are the person who defines what's cool. You don't allow other people to define what's cool and then now you become a follower. No, you have to be a leader, right? We come from a long line of kings and queens, right? From the African diaspora. Leaders of tribes. Lead your community. Be the change in which you want to see in your community. Because what we definitely don't need and definitely don't want to continue to see is these young brothers losing their lives and being murdered senselessly in the streets for stupid, dumb, around the way beefs. Like, come on, do something more productive. The world is watching. And show them the opposite.
And reflecting back on what you said about when somebody dies now, it's a nonstop cycle of killing and violence, and it's just like, who's going to break it?
Payback and get back, and it's just senseless. It makes no sense. What needs to take place is the individuals need to value their lives more, have more respect for their ancestors and the people who came before them and who went through the strife and the struggles and the pain to become something. Come on, we gonna let Black Wall Street go in vain? For them and those who don't know about Black Wall Street, look it up, check it out. If you don't know now, you need to know. Take that smartphone and do a smart thing. And with that being said, RIP to the brother, My condolences to his family, his friends, and his supporters. Let him be a learning lesson. Let him be a learning lesson. Let's try to make it the last. Sad to say, it won't be the last brother to go in that way. But wisen up, smarten up, want more for yourself, be more and do more.
Alrighty, I just want to say that was once again a very tragic and sad loss for his family, his friends, supporters, anybody who genuinely wanted the best for him. I send my deepest condolences to you as well. But off of that, we are onto a more positive topic. And this is about a new upcoming rapper. Well, not predominantly new, but an upcoming rapper by the name of OT7 Quanny. So we're going to get into some of his stuff.
Okay, hit me with it. I need to hear something, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so this is one of his very popular songs. This one is Virgil 2.
Okay, OT7 Quanny.
Yes.
I'm making racks, not friends. We turn your boy to a strand. F557 both hands. Louis shirt cost me $1,000. I play the block like Bam. I sold more food than a stand. I'm on the sprinter, just me and the Brodies.
So what type of rapper would you consider OT7 Quanty to be? A drill artist? A traditional? I guess there's no real such thing as traditional artist, but like, what kind of? How would you classify or label his music?
I would classify him as not a hard drill rapper, but like a softer type drill rapper. And I don't mean that like streetwise, but his flow.
Just in regards to the flow and the content and lyrical delivery.
Yes.
Okay. Where is this brother from?
He is actually from Philadelphia, but he has grew up in North Philadelphia.
Okay, so he's born and raised in North Philadelphia. And is he signed? Is he a solo act? Is he a solo artist? Or independent artist, solo independent artist?
He is actually signed to 10,000 Projects.
Oh yeah, who's running that? Who's running that outfit over there?
Actually, a lot of other artists that we're familiar with signed to this record label as well.
Who would that be?
We have Leaf Ward, Skrilla,
okay,
Punchy Dev, Bossman, D-Lo, 1900 Rugrat.
Okay, Leaf, he from Philly too. He from Philly too. He a Philadelphia artist as well. So my question is where do you put him at success wise? Like, where do you feel? Do you feel like he's getting the notoriety that he should be able to get because he's with a label? I don't know if it's a major label. I don't know who's behind the label, but I don't know who's behind the label, as I was saying, but or if it's a major label at all. But what do I know? I've been in prison for 21 years. I don't know what's going on out there. I rely on the mercy of others to give me the information that I need. But do you think that he's getting the notoriety and the push that he, that any major artist is out there getting?
Honestly, I feel like at first he blew up, but a lot of people seen, I guess, his affiliation with Trump, and they might.
Oh, that's the young cat who was on the PJ with Trump during that whole political stunt.
Yep.
Do you think that had an effect on his album sales and his influence on the industry?
I strongly do, and with him, his consistency with posting music, album-wise, isn't the best. So that can also deteriorate your sales, your viewers, listeners, and different.
How does this work with being signed? Like you said he was signed. Who was he signed to?
Well, the owner of the label is Elliot Grange.
Oh, I've never heard of them. Where they out of? You know where they out of? They got a lot of well-known artists on the label. Couldn't somebody over there use some of the industry experience and tell her that might have been a poor money move?
The crazy part, their record label is.
Let the people know, they make frequent announcers around here in the P-Now system where I so happen to be at. So that was the person who's running the show in the bubble over here on FB Block. But what were you saying?
Their label is based out of Los Angeles, California.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish the brother the best. What he doing album sales wise? Like, is he pushing? Do they still go by platinum sales, or are they just going by downloads and streams? How is that working nowadays?
Well, that would be based off of, I would say, more so streams and listeners.
Okay. Well, I wish the brother the best. All of those who are out there trying to, display their talents and make a way out of no way, right? Push yourself, and do your thing and be the change you want to see. Don't be a statistic. You know, you have the power to change the direction that you want your life to go into. Majority of you all out there are making the necessary steps. This is your world. And, the Gen Z and all of you guys, all of this AI and technology, use it all to your advantage and make it work for you. Don't work against it, and don't be a slave to none of it. You slave it, if anything, right? You know what I'm saying? And just win, because winning is what it's all about. But also be kind, be honest, be decent, and be generous and giving and caring and kind.
Again, I want to send my condolences out to LGP Quad's family, friends, supporters. And that's a wrap, guys.